Robert Plank Show, episode 115. Unlock the gates to unlimited success by finding the right business coach with Kory Livingstone. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Robert Plank Show, where we talk about making money and building an online business. My guest today is Kory Livingstone. He's going to be talking to us about finding the right business coach, and he seems like a pretty cool guy. He plays piano, does vocals, has a party band, the Fabulous Mercury, so I can't wait to hear what cool business knowledge he plans on dropping. So welcome to the show, Kory.
Thank you for having me. Nice to be here.
I'm glad to have you here. And, I really like when people kind of put some or a lot of their personality into the things they have to say, as opposed to just people saying, well, I'm a business coach, I'm a turnaround coach, and they don't really have much to say. But I really like how, the things that you have to say, you've kind of mixed them and combined them with your musician and the other business stuff you have to say as well.
Yeah, well, they say my core is a musician, but don't be fooled because he's only a musician, you know. Um, my book, which is Quiet Determination, Unlocking the Gates to Unlimited Success, is based on the lessons that I learned while studying music. In order to be successful in music, there's a mindset. There's things you have to do in order to be successful in music. So successful in music, successful in life is sort of the theme of the book. And these are the lessons that I learned while I was studying music, and I apply them to everything I do in life. It's like a hammer. You can use a hammer, you know, to hammer in this type of nail, that type of nail, a screwdriver for this, that, all these things. These are the tools that are used in different situations, right? Whether you're building a house or a swimming pool or a garage or a wall or an addition, they all use the same hammer, the same tools. So just because you're a musician, it doesn't mean the tools you use to be successful, to become a musician, are not applicable to tools you have to use be a successful lawyer, a doctor, mechanic, maintenance man. It doesn't matter. Success, you have to have certain tools, or I should say a mindset, to be successful in life, period. And what I have discovered when I wrote my book, all these tools, what there's 60, actually it's a mindset. Okay, and you've got to have a certain mindset to be successful. And coaching, you have to have a mindset to be coached, to be coachable. Okay, every well, all the big businesses, all the big businesses right around the world, they work on developing the talent within their own ranks. Okay,
Okay.
either through seminars, conferences, take a course. This is coaching. Okay, it may come across as seminar, whatever word you want to use, but the bottom line is that it's coaching, and they're trying to promote within their ranks so they can really do. Everybody has talent, right?
Yeah.
It's potential. Some of us use some of our talent. Some of us use a lot of our talent. Some of us use very little of our potential talent. It's there, you know. So it's just a matter of getting it out of you. And that's what a coach does.
And that's cool. And so it seems like there's a lot of parallels and a lot of lessons that you learned from this area of being a musician that you've now applied in other areas, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Just as I had a music teacher, right? But really, be better as a music coach. Athletes, professional athletes have coaches. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. They think, oh, gee, I'm not an athlete, so how can I have a coach? I don't need a coach. Well, no, coaching goes right across, okay, right across all walks of life. Like I say, financial, even leadership. Okay, so there's certain coaching is just an amalgamation of a whole bunch of different things. Uh, Consulting, psychology, leadership, management training, counseling. Now, you don't have, this sounds like, gee, in order to be a coach, I should be a psychologist or something like that. No. Uh, yes, psychologists are coaches, okay? And, but you don't have to be a certified psychologist to be a good coach. Just look at any professional sports team. None of those coaches are what you would say qualified psychiatrists. They have grown up in the game. They've worked in the game. They know how to communicate with other people. They know how to get the best out of you that they can, provided that you're coachable. And you've probably heard that, particularly in professional sports. You've heard the phrase, "Oh, so and so is not coachable.
Oh yeah.
He's come in here, thinks he knows it all, right?"
Oh yeah.
And you know what the coach does? He lets so and so ride the bench for a game or two. Okay, you want to, this is a team sport. We're doing it my way, not your way. And if you don't want to learn our system, okay, I don't care how you great. You came number one draft choice and all that stuff, but you're not fitting in. You're going to ride the pine for a while, okay,
Like
and then you'll
put him in
gradually,
put him in his place, take him down a peg or two.
yeah, down a peg or two, okay. Because if you're not coachable, if you can't, or you will, if you're good, but you're only probably half as good as you're going to be at by the time you hit your peak of your career, right? Young guys come in what 19, 20, they're still wet behind the ears. They've got 5 years of learning to do for they even start getting much better than they are, and that at the time they become veterans, right? That's why they're veterans, because they've been there for a while and they know their stuff.
Oh yeah, and all that kind of reminds me. Like when I was a kid, I played baseball for about 3 years, and then I was in school band for about 5 years, and year to year, if we had a good music instructor, that made a huge difference. That wasn't all the difference, but if we had an instructor who just kind of half-assed it and didn't really take things too seriously, then that would tank the whole that whole music group for the whole year. And if we had someone who knew how to challenge us, and who knew, like, how to manage us, and who to arrange who where, and knew how to kind of get those diamonds in the rough to come out, that made a huge difference. And the other thing that kind of reminds me of is that there were, on one extreme, there were the other kids who the music talent came naturally, right? And the other extreme, a lot of them just didn't even care, didn't even try. And I think most of us, including me, were kind of in the middle, where we weren't like naturally gifted musicians, but just because we put aside, for example, like an hour a day to practice, because the music coach knew what areas to kind of focus on, that helped us all. And it was, I mean, I kind of see a lot of parallels to what you're saying. Like, some people just don't try, or some people come in with the attitude that they know everything, they got the whole world figured out, and then that hurts them as well. So there's the two pieces of it, right? There's like the instructor side, the coach side, and then there's whatever it is that they unlock within you.
Exactly. And you bring up that about having the proper music instructor. See, there's there's two types. There's the kind of coach who will say, um, it's do this, do that. Okay, practice page one, practice page two, page three, so on and so forth. They don't really take the time to go in and look at what your strengths are and what they are not, and help you develop what your strengths are. Oh, excuse me for one moment.
Okay.
I got to call you back. I'm home though. Oh, okay. Bye. Sorry. Um, they've got to sit down, look at your strengths, look at your weaknesses, okay, and say, let's look at, and that's what you probably found with a good band teacher. They probably took the time to try and get to know you and
Oh
see
yeah.
what your strengths were and what your weakness. Okay, let's work on this, Robert. I think you should probably try working on that. Okay, you're doing this fine. Okay, it's just that little bit of communication because you have to connect with people, and I'm sure you saw from the people who you've learned from. You learn more so from the people who made or at least tried to make a personal connection with you.
Oh yeah. Instead of just giving you the same old cookie cutter, uh, boring stuff everyone else does. And
Yeah,
so what you're saying is as it relates to either being a business coach or getting a business coach, that if you can find that coach who, instead of just giving you the same steps they give to 10 other coaching clients, they actually look at your business, they look at what you've done and haven't done, and look at your strengths and weaknesses, and from all that figure out the best course of action for you to take.
yeah. A good coach will ask you a lot of questions. Okay, which again may surprise many of your listeners. Well, I'm supposed to be getting information, aren't I? He's just asking me questions, right? Yeah. Well, no, he's asking you questions for a purpose because in the end, you really have the answers. Okay. They're all within you. Like need to find out, if you need to find out a certain formula, let's say whatever it is. I mean, obviously he couldn't, and you don't know what the formula is for. Let's just say I'm going to be very, very simple. I need a formula how to make this certain type of glue, let's say, right?
Right.
Now, the the coach just may happen to have that formula. Oh yeah, I work in glue. I can give you that. Okay, that may just be a certain thing, or you may say, ask, well, where can I find this type of person? Well, the coach may know, but it'd be better for you. And even if the coach doesn't have to, he'll say, well, where do you think we could go to find this formula for glue? Okay, so he's again ask. It's all about accountability. You as the coach must be 110% accountable, which means yes, the coach will guide you. Okay, I think you can find that information on this glue recipe on the internet. Okay, have a look on there and see if you can find it. It should be there. Okay, or they might say, okay, I have a contact. Well, you can phone this guy and he might give you some information, but that's going to be a very small portion, like 1 or 2%. Okay, he happens, but he's the job of a coach is to guide you, to ask questions, to find out where you're going. So you will, by answering these questions, you will give yourself your own answers. Okay, so that's what a coach is going to do. Because people are surprised that you may not have the answers in your own head, but you will know where to go to find the answers. The coach will show you or guide you where to go to find the answers. So when all is said and done, and you and your coach finally part ways, you will have all these abilities. You'll have this awareness of how to solve particular problems. Okay. But so that's the basic concept or the basic structure of good coaching. So basically, a coach needs to find out as much as they can about the client, okay, in order to coach them, asking questions. They have to maintain communication. They should build a rapport that they really are interested in you, okay? So they will help you clarify your own statements, maybe about your goal in 10 years. Okay, by next year, by this time next year, I want to be rich. That's your goal. Well, a coach will ask, what do you mean by rich? Lots of money in the bank. Well, what's a lots of money in the bank? Uh, Give me a figure. $10,000, $1 million. So they help you take away these generalities, what a lot of people have, and get you specific goals. So a year from now, I'm going to have $1 million in the bank. Okay, so that's That's clarifying that goal. Then you go a little bit further. And so each question that the coach asks, it helps the coach understand what your real problem, because you may think you have a problem which you we're going to call problem A. But after asking a lot of questions, the coach will make it clear to you that problem you it's not problem A you have. It's problem B, just giving it another name, right? It's problem B and C. Problem A, that's not what you think is a problem number A. That is not a problem. Because of the questions he's asked, he's been able to clarify more. And then a coach will help you understand exactly what you're doing much better and encourage you to think much deeper than what you're going. Because most people actually, they go to a coach, they have a general idea or I want it, but they haven't got it down in black and white. It's not down in writing. And the biggest thing that a coach will do is keep you focused on what you're doing. Okay. And the coach will again ask you questions, okay, that come out of left field because a good coach will get a feel where you're going and where your weakness, where your strengths are, but he'll ask questions just out of left field and that all pertain to what you're doing, of course. And you may have an answer for it, or you may not. If you do, that's great. If you don't, there's another area where you have to explore. But the bottom line of a coach, he keeps you accountable. You are accountable for your success. The coach is going to guide you. It's not going to be done for you. Okay. And I don't know about you, but Robert, I've gone to many seminars because we're always learning, right?
Oh yeah.
And it could be, let's say, um, well, I've gone to a seminar about speech, giving speech, not let's say keynote speaking, but how to deliver a great keynote speech. And they take you, okay, they tell you about this and they tell you have to do this. So let's say there's 25 steps to do a keynote speech, right?
Right.
And they tell you exactly what they are. Okay. Oh yeah, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. Right. So you feel confident in your ability, but what they end up with is this. It's going to take you, and this is how they try and scare you. Yeah, it'll take probably you 6 or 7 months to do this, to get it done just how we laid it out. On the other hand, you can get it done for you for a big amount of money. It'll be done in 2 or 3 weeks, and there you are. There's your keynote. There's your keynote speech. What accountability have you done? You've taken no accountability for that speech. Do you know that speech? No, you're going to memorize it. Do you understand that speech? No, because someone else has written for you and you've memorized it. Are you living that speech? No, you're just reciting that speech. Okay, so bottom line, you've taken no accountability, and you may or may not believe half the things that are in that talk because it was done for you, even though it follows the 25 points. But had you taken the time and been accountable and gone through each of the 25 points and built it up, you would know exactly what you are talking about. Okay, so that's what a coach does. You have to do this. The coach is not going to sit down. So okay, here's the template. There you go. Off you go. Okay, you are still not accountable. And this is why a lot of people who have failed dreams. That's why there's a lot of people with failed dreams because they've tried to take the easy way out. Okay.
And
If
and I,
somebody hasn't done it for me.
and I like
Yeah.
that analogy a lot because I mean it's like there, like you said, there's all kinds of similarities you could connect to to music or in business or in school or anything. Like, I mean, what you're describing there, like the wrong way for coaches to go about it is almost like having you memorize just the facts and figures, right? Or you know just how to read music, or just know how to hit the right notes and play the right times and things like that. But there's no personalization, there's no repetition, there's no course correcting, stuff like that.
Exactly. Exactly. You have no skin in the game. No skin in the game whatsoever.
And
Now,
oh, go ahead.
no, no, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, I was just gonna say like that makes me think about like different mentors I had, and I think about like one of the favorite mentors I had. I came to him, and kind of like you described, I had a lot of big areas where I'm stuck, where like I just didn't know what I didn't know, or I didn't know like what strategy, or I didn't know if I should keep doing something or stop doing something. And then there were like the little areas I was stuck where, you know, I could he could answer it in a minute, or he could answer it by saying, "Go look for this term." And I think about you know, when I first got a coach, he told me to do just only a handful of things, right? He told me, for example, to raise my prices, and so that's one of those things where on my own I never would have knew to do that, and it might have even taken me 10 years of just learning new things, doing some trial and error before I came to the person who had the big picture and looked at my business from the outside and just kind of shortcut those 10 years for me.
Yeah, yeah, and that's really valuable. And as adults, see, coaches, adults learn different from children. Okay,
Okay.
it's adult education. See, as adults, we we need to know why. Why are we learning this? As kids, you go to school and they tell you what you're going to learn. You're going to learn this, 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 and this. And I don't know about you, but the further I got along in school, in high school, I started asking myself, well, what the hell do I need to study Latin for?
Right.
Or what do I need to study this for? I want to be this. I want to be this. How does that relate to that? Okay. Now, it may relate and it may not relate, but no one told me the reason for it. No one told me. And as far as I can see, it made no sense. So as an adult, you have to know. So when a coach is coaching you, they should they will explain or you'll ask the coach should realize that you'll need to know why I'm doing this. Okay, a coach may say you need a business plan for the next. You need to plan. You need a business plan for the next year. You have to know that you have to plan out every week what you're going to do every single week, and you may say, and they will tell you so that you will not waste your time every day saying, now, what will I do today? Okay. Your plan will be there. So it's already been planned. Today it says, I must do this. Therefore, you've not wasted a lot of time thinking about what I can do because you've already spent that time and you thought about it. And it's right there so you can get right to work and start getting results right away. So that's one example. Now, also, adults want to learn, they don't want to memorize. We've done our memorize. We want to do. Okay, task oriented. Give me a task to do. Okay, uh, as your coach today, I'm telling you to go out and find all of the suppliers that you can for this type of thing. Or this is what I want you to do. Whatever it happens to be, this is what I want you to do. That's a task. I don't want you to memorize uh, where all of the where all of the people live that may be your target market. I don't want you to memorize where they live. I want you to go out and actually make a list. Just make it a task. You have to do something. And now, adults, as adults, okay, that's why we call ourselves adults because we make our own decisions, don't we? We
Yes.
like to plan. Okay, we don't want somebody telling us what to do. Okay, do this, do that. Um, like bossing. Okay, we're we want to be involved. Okay, let's work on what I have to do. Let's be involved. So the coach will get you involved in making decisions. That's why a good coach will not say do this, do that, do the other. They say, you think, what about you doing this, or have you tried looking at that, or uh, what do you think of this? Give me your opinion about this. Okay, so the coach is guiding you, but expecting you. You see, this is where the coach is not giving you the answers, guiding you. And yeah, I think I like this one here that this looks very good. Okay, good. Let's settle on that. So the coach has guided you, and you've made the decision. You've made the final decision. So a coach E has to be, as an adult, has to be part. When you go to, like I say, when we go to school as kids, teacher says, do this, do that, right? And you ask why, they shut up and do it, right?
Right.
Because I said, right?
Yeah.
So this is all part of the adult personality. Now, also, another thing about adults, when you're coaching them, um, they have to be, like I mentioned before, coachable, which means they're ready, interested in learning. Okay. If you're looking for a coach and you're not, and you and you're a know-it-all, don't waste your money. Okay. Keep going on like you're going, and the result you have yesterday or the result you have today will be the result you have tomorrow, which will usually result again at a failed dream. Okay.
Right.
Now, adults also, they to, like I say, this goes back to memorization. They don't want to learn, they want to solve problems. Everybody, because there's things that keep us, we have a coach to solve a problem, right? We have a problem we need solved. So again, that's a psyche of an adult. We'd rather solve, that's what we're paid for, right? Whatever job you do, you are paid to solve problems. I'm an accountant. My problem, my job is to make sure that we don't, that the money is accounted for. Okay. The boss says, I need someone to account for the money. I'm a dentist. Something wrong with my tooth. Solve my problem. Okay. I'm a lawyer. Okay. I have a problem with. I need somebody sued. I'm a musician. Okay. Somebody feels stressed. We try and make them feel happy with our music. Every job, the basis of every job is solving a problem, and that's what adults like to do.
So
And again,
I like that. So that
yeah,
way it's like you're not just overloading someone with a bunch of facts and figures, or overloading with the possibilities of all the things that they could do, and you're not doing a bunch of stuff for them. You're just kind of, like you said, you're the guide. But I think that just now really hit home with me pretty hard, that they're there to solve problems, and like, big problems, the small problems, that some problems need to be taken care of before the others. But I think that right there is huge, that you're not just there to learn or to teach something, you're knocking out those problems.
you've got it. The last thing we want to do is just garbage in, garbage out, regurgitate. Exactly right. Hands on, roll up the sleeves. I got stuff to do. Okay. So that's that's you're so right, and that's probably the most powerful thing a coach will do. And of course, again, um, the coach is there if you go off track. Okay, pull you back on again. Okay,
So
and again,
oh, go ahead.
sorry,
Finish your
no,
thought.
go ahead.
I was just
I
gonna
was just
say, how, since I mean we're talking about all these things that, like, bad coaches do and good coaches do. Can we kind of relate that, as we're winding this down, to what it is you do and what makes you special and different?
well. I This is what I love to direct people. Uh, a coach, you could call a coach is a teacher, but I try to change people's mindsets from what they do, what they normally do. Um, my saying is, how long are you going to keep doing what you're presently doing and putting off what you're really capable of doing? So this is I like to draw people out and make them. what they really can be, all that they can be. Because and I like to look at their dreams because everybody has dreams, and that's where I focus on. Say, tell me your dream, and let's talk about your dream, and let's help make that dream. Let me help you make that dream a reality. Okay, so that's what I drive at, and it's it's great for a lot of young entrepreneurs because I wish I had someone like me in my corner and I was just starting out in business. You know, it makes a lot of difference. It makes so much difference, and I've experienced it one time in my life, and that was in my music career. You probably don't know them, but they were called the Platters back in the 50s. Only you, smoke gets in your eyes, things like that.
I've heard
They
Smoke
were
Gets in Your Eyes, but I don't know that band exactly.
okay. Well, they were a vocal group, uh, four guys and one girl, the Platters. Look them up on the internet, you'll see. And one of them, it was Ray. Oh, this is back. One of them was called Ray Carroll, and he moved up here to Canada for a while, and he had an agency here, a talent agency. And I met him, and I said I went into his office and asked him, agency, get me some work, blah blah blah. As a young musician starting out, and he hemmed and hawed, and he said, okay. He took me out one night, and we visited certain entertainment establishments around town. He showed me people, see people that he knew. We're going to go see this guy now and watch what he does. We're going to see this guy. I learned so much, not about music, but about entertaining from him in a 6 hour evening. It blew me away. The things that he pointed out to see all these different people and what I should do. That, just that type of thing. And he didn't say do this, do that. He just said, you see this, you see that, you see that. And then your mind gets to working, right?
Oh yeah.
I
Uh,
spent about 2 or 3 nights with him, and the difference that made. I mean, it made. I felt like a pro. I'd only been in the business for about 10 months,
right.
so I know that feeling, and I want to pass that along to other people. So that's what I do, and with my book, Quiet Determination: Unlocking the Gates to Unlimited Success, I share my mindset. I share the tools that I'm that I work with that have made me successful with other people. That's that's really what I'm all about.
Cool, and I like that, and the way that you describe that story, it's almost like he your friend he had like a lifetime of all these little insights and knowledge that took him however many decades to accumulate, and then he just kind of distilled them down to a few, like in any given situation, like you said, he just pointed out things he was looking at, things that he was noticing, and there's no amount of fact learning that seems that can duplicate that. It's just the
100%,
cool.
100%, 100%. I'll tell you a story how I got to write this book. The title of this book, Quiet Determination. About 10 years ago, I was getting ready for a concert in a venue, and it was a do-it-yourself venue. You had to bring in all your own lights and theater. All they rented was you the space, right?
Right.
So the concert was a Saturday night. I went in there Saturday morning. I set up the PA. I set up the light up and down on the ladder, hanging the curtains, and I had the piano coming in and tuned, and I had to get the refreshments ready to sell at halftime, the CD, all that stuff ready, right?
Right.
And I gave the concert. It was a great concert, and so on and so forth. About 2 weeks later, I get this letter in the mail. Actually, it was on a post-it, 3.5, 3 by 3 yellow post-it note. And it said, Dear Kory, I've admired your persistent, quiet determination and attention to details. It's more than talent, it's a mature determination. I could do well to apply the same to my life. May God bless all of your efforts. You know who it was from?
Oh,
The maintenance man of the venue, the
amazing.
custodian.
That's awesome.
Blew me away. Blew me away. Even, do well to apply the same to my. That was how astute is this guy? How astute? And I I didn't realize that I was doing this. I mean, this is what I did normally. I wasn't, I didn't go up and do all this work and then say, "Oh, look all the work I did." As a matter of fact, like breathing, right? I breathe in, I breathe out. I don't think about it, right? And
Right.
if you stop doing it, you're not going to breathe any longer, right? But you don't even think about that. So all these things that I had to do were natural to me, and that's with a quiet determination. I mean, I coined it. He gave it to me, and this guy was he was a custodian, but he was a genius.
And
So
I like that because I mean there's a lot of little like insights with that, and I think that the big one and the big common thread I'm hearing from you today is that there's all these little all these skills that you've developed like as a musician or as someone who sets up these like performances and things like that, and there's some amount of like the work ethic is a little bit of it, the mastery is a little bit of it, the getting so good at something where it almost becomes unconscious as a little bit of it. Like there's all these little things combined, and what's really cool about this that I keep hearing over and over here is that like the skills that you develop in one area, such as music or presenting or things like that, they always like bleed out, and they always can be applied in the other areas as well.
you got it exactly, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Cool. So the
And
book is Quiet Determination, and where can people find that and buy it?
well, they can get it at Amazon.com. Of course, they can get a digital copy, a hardback copy. If they want an autographed copy, they can contact me by email. It's very simple, Kory at KoryLivingstone.com. And, I'll arrange to get them an email, a hard copy sent to them, and I'll autograph it for them. Now, for the listeners of your show, I got a special gift for them. I'm just in the process of doing it now. I'm doing an audio version of the book. If they write me, when it gets done, I'll send them a free copy on an MP3 of Quiet Determination. Okay. I'll send that to them free just for the listeners, special gift for listeners of your show. It'll be ready probably in 2 or 3 months, but write me anytime and I put you on the list. When it's ready, I'll send it out. If anybody like my website, it's just like my name. It's Kory Livingstone.com, Livingstone. Just type that in and I'll come up. Okay. My website will come up. My email will come up. You'll get it somehow. So just type in my name in the internet and I will come up. So it'll be
Awesome.
easy to remember.
Cool. So KoryLivingstone.com, and the book is Quiet Determination.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being on the show, friend.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.